arithmetic is add and subtract by the same constant value. Geometric was multiply and divide. Okay, so this part right here is a recap from Friday. Do not copy it down again, but just to go over it, we copied this on Friday. Recall. Okay, so what did our m value stand for? What was m? The slope. Good. What is the b value? The y-intercept, or what else did we call it? Initial value, good, or our zero term, perfect. And then our rule was close to a linear function, which was y equals mx plus b. Instead, we had f of n equals m times n plus b. Okay, remember this from Friday? Okay, good. Excuse me. Now, on your worksheet that I just gave you, we have some patterns, yes? Sorry, Sam. Okay, so my first one. A, I have a pattern and a table. We'll get it all right now. We'll get the rest of it right now. Okay, so what goes in the x column of my table? Why? Because it's the first figure, the first L. Yeah, so we're going to put 1, and then just keep counting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that is because I have figure 1, figure 2, figure 3, and so on. Do I always have to write the figure numbers here? No, it's just so that you remember where it comes from. Okay. Now, what goes in the y column of that table? Yeah, how many blocks or how many elements are in each figure? So how many blocks are in the first figure? 3. We're on the other side, April. We'll do that one next. Okay, what about in the second figure? 5. And what about the third figure? 7. Okay, so you might also see this written as a sequence like this on your homework tonight. That's how it'll look. In a couple of examples, it will be like that too, okay? So that y, my y's are going to be 3, 5, and 7. Can I fill out the rest of my table? Yeah, what are the next values? 9, 11, and 13. Because why, Diego? Yeah, you add 2, perfect. So my pattern rule is add 2. So that's how I got 9, 11, 13. Yes, question? No, not right now. Okay, our slope / growth or decay. What is our slope for this question? Good. M equals 2. Can you guys see if I have the light on, or do you want me to turn it off? Yeah, I'll turn it off. Okay, what about my initial value? What is my b value? Is it 1? How? But 1 isn't on the table. Oh, okay, I have to go backwards. So I have to subtract 2. So 3 minus 2 is 1. Do we agree with that? Our zero term is 1? Okay, I think so. And then my equation is m times n plus b, correct? That's my general explicit formula for arithmetic. So I have f of n equals m, which is 2. N stays the same, plus, and then b is 1. Is that okay? Now, let's say I said find the 8th term. How do I find the 8th term? I'm going to plug 8 in. Good. So I'm going to substitute 8 in for n. Is that okay? You like this? Okay. Can you guys try the second one for me, please? Try the second one. Try the second one. Oh, wait. Hang on. I clicked the wrong button. Okay, I'm going to start putting up these answers. Okay, so this slope was the same as the first one, yes? Okay, my b value, however, was different. I have to subtract 1 minus 2 is -1. Is that what we got? So I have f of n equals 2n minus 1. Okay, so on a test, if I said find the explicit formula for the sequence, that's the answer I need. That's it. That's like 5 points right there, just that equation, okay? Remember, because I grade everything out of like 5 points? Okay. And it also gives me some rain to give you partial credit. Okay, so that would be this. Now, some of you found the eighth term. What is the eighth term?
15.
I heard 15. Do we agree? Yep. 15. Okay. Can you try number 3 now? Can you try or part C, the third one? Okay, try the third one now. Your neighbor should be checking it. If you have the same answer and they're right, give them a smiley face and write good job. Pass to your neighbor to the right. If they're good, give them a smiley face and a good job. On their paper, you can write that for them. Don't write anything else. I don't trust you guys. Huh? Yes, find the eighth term also.
Oh, we're finding it.
Okay, check them. Okay, does your neighbor have this too? Like my table? Does your neighbor's paper match mine? And they should have this. Okay, tell them good job and write a smiley face. And our eighth term is negative 15. Yeah. Okay. Can you show me out of 5 how are you feeling about arithmetic sequences? Okay, not too bad. Not too bad. How are you feeling about arithmetic sequences? A 1? A 5. Okay. Now I need you to open up your notebooks because we are going to write some notes about geometric sequences. We talked about them, but we don't know the formula yet. Okay. Listen, please. It's a lot easier than you think it is. Okay, for our geometric sequences. Okay, to find the nth term, so to find any term. A geometric sequence is a nonlinear function, so we have 2 types, linear and nonlinear. Linear is a line, nonlinear is everything else. Okay? So, for this nonlinear function, we have a big M. What do you think the big M stands for? What do you think it might be used for?
Big slope.
The big slope. Okay, so we're going to call that. We don't have slope since it's not a line, so instead we're going to call it the multiplier. Okay, you can call it the big slope, but no, that's what it is. It's our pattern rule. It is the multiplier. Okay? The thing that I multiply by or that I divide by. Okay, the next thing I have is a uppercase M, a capital, I. Capital I. What do you think I stands for? Not independent. It can stand for an intercept. It's a specific type of intercept. The y-intercept, yeah. Or I is for initial value. Okay? So we have the same 2 elements as in the last problem. So arithmetic and geometric, we're looking for the same things. The equation is just different. Okay? So for this geometric, our ruler equation, it's nonlinear. So our explicit formula is I times m to the n power. This is our explicit formula. And in words, that would be initial term times multiplier to the n power. Let's continue. Okay, so pattern D on the back side. What goes on my table? What are the x values that go on my table? Shh. What are the x values? Yeah, 1, 2, 3, the same ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Now, how many elements or how many units are in the first figure? 6. Good. How many are in the second figure? 18. Good. And how many are in the third figure? 54. Yeah, if you count them up, or it's a 9 by 6. 9 times 6 is 54. Yeah, it looks pretty small up there, but yeah, that's 54 blocks. Okay, so on my table I have 6, 18, and 54. How do I find my fourth figure? Multiply by what? By 3. Close. What is 54 times 3? You need a calculator. Remember I told you this is calculator unit, and I recommend your calculator for the test. What is this? What is 54 times 3? 162. Can you find the other two for me, please? What are the other two elements on this table? 486 and 1458. Okay. So, you said it right before I started, so be careful. Okay, for my multiplier, what is our big M? What is my multiplier? 3, good. And what is my initial value? But 2's not on my table. Yeah, divide 6 by 3 is 2. So my initial value is 2. Do we agree with those two numbers? Yes or no? Okay, so the equation that I just gave you, this, I don't like writing the equation that way. Instead, my one affixed to it is I use parentheses instead, okay? No. Later. Okay, so I have f of n equals I times m to the n. So those mean the same thing. I just like the second way because you all get really mixed up with your parentheses. So if we start that from the beginning, you're less likely to make that mistake on the test. Because that means that the exponent only goes to whatever's inside. So f of n equals, what is the initial value? What's the initial value? 2, good. What is the multiplier? 3. And do I know what n is? No, so that stays there. So that would be my equation. That's my explicit formula. Can you guys find the 8th term for me? How would I do that? Yeah, I'm going to plug in 8. So I have 2 times 3 to the 8th power. So find 3 to the 8th power and multiply it by 2. No, it's 3 times 3 times 3 times 3, 8 times. You need a calculator. No, that's 3 to the 3rd power.
Oh, wow.
I told you guys to get one, so I don't know why you don't know about a calculator. I said don't use your phone because you're not using your phone on the test.
Okay, but it's so simple.
But your phone calculators are very different from regular calculators. Barely. Because you're like, why is my answer different from yours? Because you didn't put it into calculator right. And photomath doesn't know the order of operations, so don't trust it. Okay, so I have 2 times, what is 3 to the 8th power? What is it? 6,000. 6,561. And then the answer is 13,000 and something? Like this? Okay. Is that okay? Can you try filling in the table for E? Can you start working on E for me, please? Can you start working on E for me, please? The next one? Can you start working on the next one? Okay, the next one. Okay, let's look at E. So we have 80, 40, 20. What's next? 10, then what? And 2.5. Okay. Now, what did I do for each of those? What was my pattern rule? Divide by 2, yes? Okay. So, now my multiplier is what I use when I'm multiplying by a number. Am I multiplying right here? No, but I can write divide by 2 as a multiplication problem. So, divide by 2 means multiply by 1/2. Okay, divide by 2 means multiply by 1/2. Or, the other thing you can do is just know that this is division, because we'll come back to that in a quick second. What is the initial value? What is my 0 term? 500. 100. 160. Because 80 times 2 is 160. Okay, now that means that my final answer, I have f of n equals 160 times 1/2 to the n power, or remember how I said we divided by 2? Remember how you guys told me you divided by 2 on this one? I can divide by 2 to the n power. Those mean the same thing. These mean the same thing. Those are two different ways to write the same problem. Does it matter to me which one you use?
No.
No.
As long as you get
As long as you get
the
the correct answer.
if it's off, we can plug it,
Yeah, if I wanted to solve for the eighth figure, I would plug it into both of them, and you'll get the same answer for both of those. Okay? Can you guys do the last one for me? Can you do F for me? Yes.
So like you have to put it in like one.
What was my multiplier on this one? Okay. So my big M, I am multiplying by 2. What's my initial value then? 0.5 or 1/2. I'm going to leave it as 1/2 because remember 1 divided by 2 is 1/2. So that means I have f of n equals 1/2 times 2 to the n power. Does that make sense? Is this okay? Okay, can you show me out of 5? How do you feel about geometric? Okay, what you're going to do now is take your notebook and switch seats with somebody at your table. Okay, switch seats with somebody at your table. Okay, switch seats with somebody at your table. I'm going to give you 2 minutes to do these 2 U-tries. You're going to classify it as arithmetic or geometric. So do I add, subtract, or multiply, divide? Find the explicit formula. And then find the 8th term. Okay? So you're going to put this into your notebook, but you will be able to use, or you should use the paper that we just took all our notes on, okay? To get you up and moving.
What a move.
Okay, here is our first one. Check your answer. Did you get arithmetic? M is 7, B is 17, and our 8th term is 73.
Yes.
This one okay? Okay, are you almost done with the second one? Okay, here's the second one. Is that what you got?
Yes.
Okay, I have one last one. You're going to do number 3. You have 1 minute. The bell's about to ring, so do this one quickly. You need a calculator. Okay, we did times 3. Good. What is my 0 term? What's 36 divided by 3? 12. Was this arithmetic or geometric? One more time, because that was not convincing. Okay, good. Geometric, and my 8th term is 78,732. This is on your homework tonight. I have tutoring after school if you need help. Okay, collect your things if you didn't when you moved seats.